I really never thought I'd cry on camera. I'm trying to keep myself from crying. Oh my god. I didn't think this is where this was headed. My god, I think I need tissues. Oh, I don't have to be so afraid. This is where the fear came from. This is where the anxiety came from. And I started showing up more. There's a beauty in everyone's story. Literally, everyone who lives on earth is writing their story. So your story is so powerful, and you don't have to wait for someone to interview you. You don't have to wait to be given a platform. There is something inside of you, and that's why it's important for you to speak up. Hi there, and welcome to Gracefully Authentic Conversations podcast. I am your host, Anita Gesare. We are so glad to have you here. If you're new here, we are all about wholeness. We are just not about productivity or spirituality or, being physically fit and, doing all the physical things. We believe that a human being is a body, soul, and spirit, not just body. So every part of that needs to be tended to. Because if you find yourself focusing so much on the spiritual, there's a part that will be lacking. If you find yourself dwelling so much on the psychological, there'll be a part missing. So it's important for you to feed every part of you. When you feed your spirit, you grow. When you feed your body, you grow. When you feed your soul by knowledge, growing your mind, you grow. So we are all about wholeness. And we have been on the Losing Yourself series. If you have not watched the other episodes, please go back so that you can get a better understanding, because we've been laying the foundation. And this podcast, it's literally those things that you're like, the way God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? Literally, that's what this whole journey has been. And I am so excited because we're here. I'm so excited that we've made it this far. I believe we're in episode 5 or 6. It's taken the hand of God. So for me, that thing that I had in my hand is obviously the basic tools we have here, resources, and my story. Because there's a beauty in everyone's story. Literally, everyone who lives on earth is writing their story. So your story is so powerful, and you don't have to wait for someone to interview you. You don't have to wait to be given a platform. There is something inside of you, and that's why it's important for you to speak up. Your voice matters. Like, you are so unique for a reason, and that's to encourage you to step out. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You grow as you start, as you take action. That's when you uncover the maze. Oh my god, I feel like I'm digressing, but let's come back. Yeah, so if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and join the community. We are the Gracefully Authentic community. We are learning to embrace ourselves and be ourselves and allow that God work through us to impact lives. So on to today's episode. We have been talking about losing yourself, and we have 2 areas remaining, and that's what we'd like to go to before I go to the next chapter of what I believe God has placed in my heart for you. So today we'll be talking about losing yourself in friendships, losing yourself. And that's why I think it's very important for you to go watch the other episodes so that you can get an understanding of what it is. You know, you as an individual, you came alone. Yes, we came alone. We shall go alone. And there's your individuality, there's the you person, the unique person that God created. And along the journey of life, because of experiences, because of relationships, because of circumstances, you might find yourself losing that essence of who you are, your core identity. And that can happen in friendships. So I'd give a story, and then through it all, I'm sure we'll be able to learn, yeah? Because there's power in your story. Yes. So whew, that's a heavy topic part for me if I reflect back. Because oof, it's deep. It's deep. So growing up, we moved a lot. So you can imagine how that affects your friendships. Yeah, we moved a lot. And like in Kenya, my dad, because of my dad's work, so it was quite difficult to make friends. And then also being in boarding school, and then also moving schools a lot. Not a lot, but you know, that like you're not in one consistent environment. So that also affects your friendships. And I thank God for my parents. I bless them. They did their best. They still are doing their best. Thank you, God. And so, yeah, this story really brings a lot to mind. And yeah, that's why, yeah, okay, we're not going to have explain. Yeah, so, hmm, the first person I believe I thought was a friend was, I think, when I was in class one, two, three. I think we were pretty close, and I was attached to her, but we never met because after class three, I went to boarding school. And then in the first boarding school, I don't know, it's like I just existed. Yeah. And then I left in class six. I went to another school, this private school. I don't want to talk about the culture shock today. And can I say I made friends? I just think people really liked me because I was very sharp. I was top three in girls' school in KCPE, so I was quite sharp. So I believe that the people who associated with me then did so because I was sharp. Yeah. But I want to say one particular incident that really touched me. Okay, maybe two. Like, I think when I was class seven, this lady, God bless her, she made me realize that my birthday was wrong. Yeah, she wrote me a note during my birthday. And that was strange. Yeah. And then when I was in class eight, when I was finishing, there was this class seven lady. She, I think she got me a success card, and she wrote some warm words there. I was actually shocked that someone thought of me as valuable. That's what I can say. If I look back, yeah, I also had a friend whom we were pretty close, but now maybe if I look back, it was just attachment, maybe. It was just attachment. And then went to high school. High school was a difficult place, low self esteem. Because when I reflected back now at 24 years, I realized that some of my issues were fueled by an incident I had when I joined that private school. You see, I was coming from countryside Ushago background, so I believe there was an accent. So I remember this lady. Anyways, the devil waits for you to open the door and then he attacks. So I remember we had joined the school, like two of us from the same region. That's the Kisi region. And I remember during break time, there was this certain lady. Her accent was very conk, when she was reading. So poor Anita was mocking her to another friend. I don't remember who. And the thing that this, not friend, acquaintance, and what this acquaintance said broke me. She said she is much better off. What about you and your pronunciation? If young Anita had any voice, that's where that ended. So, and now if I look back, I remember the Kiswahili teacher used to love me reading. I even thought, now he was giving me attention. I even thought he liked me. But now if I think, like how do I say it? Okay, yeah, let's just call it that. I even thought like he liked me. But now if I look back, he just loved how I was reading. So he always used to call me out to read. My God. Anyway, thank God I realized this years later. So I resorted to, keep to myself, no speaking. Just do action, pass, and that's where it's at. You, Anita, and speaking, you're done. And that really made me have a very difficult time in high school because now you see, I was not receiving any other affirmation. There was no other voice to counter what that girl told me. And that's why voices are so important. And as parents, as guardians, as caregivers, as aunties, uncles, it's so important to affirm those children around you, wherever you are, so that they don't believe that negative thing that someone else spoke to be their truth. So I went believing that I can't speak. Like that thing, I think it's traumatized me because I remember I had such a difficult time in high school making friends. I just kept to myself. I was in my own shell, just me and books. And so I remember this incident. So, like the way you see, the way teachers used to assign topics to different people to present. So this particular time, I was assigned to this lead, and you know me, I'm hardworking. I went to the library, researched, wrote everything down, understood it. But when it got time, my God, I feel like crying. Baby girl, baby girl, you got this. You made it this far. No, no, no. I'm trying to keep myself from crying. Oh my God. I didn't think this is where this was headed. My God, I think I need tissues. Oh Lord. Actually, since we started, I really never thought I'd cry on camera. Oh my God. But people don't stage this. Anyways, guess there's healing happening for someone. Baby girl, baby girl. I think after this, we're gonna do some processing. So much compassion for that. Was it 16-year-old Anita? Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, I went to the library. I did my research. Mind you, my counterpart did not even participate. Oh, I don't know how it went down. So we were called to present. I went to the board. Like I was trying to explain. I look at the board, I'm like, the words couldn't come out. So that teacher concluded, you have not done the work. You did not research. And she sent us outside to kneel down. Oh, thank God I wasn't punished like more than that. I don't know what happened. And I think that really broke me because for me, I knew I did the work. But here I was being punished because I could not find the words to teach the class. Yes. I don't know how we got there, but that's how we got there. So most friends were just by association. Anyone who came close to me, I'll be like, thank you for finding me valuable, for me finding favor in your eyes. That's the concept I was really working with because I'd never be the person to take the first step. Yeah, so fast forward to campus. I believe friendships were acquaintances as well. Yeah, but I did have one friend from high school whom I stayed with for a while, and then my cosmates, I believe, because we were in this journey for a season together and we served each other's purpose in each other's lives at the time. So, what I can say is, all through that, it was very difficult for me. I can't say I had friendships. I can't say I have childhood friends. Those friendships that last for such a long period of time and you still close. That's never me. Because I see other people from high school, their bond is still there. Other people maybe from primary, their bond is still there. And that's beautiful in its own way. But for me, I guess my journey has been different. And so now when I got to campus, if I reflect back now, what I did is, you see, I believe that no one wants to come close to me. So whoever came close to me, I held on. I did everything to ensure that they never think of leaving. Now that I understand things, that's a bit of maybe trying to be in control because you can never really dictate what people will do. But I look at it, yes, I believe God has gifted me with a good heart. I'm a good host. But I used to go over and above and beyond. That's now is when I realized that to ensure the friendship sticks, I would go all out, spoil my friends, the ones who are around me. Because that was the system I believed I needed to do to keep my friends around. So the turning point was at 24 when I started knowing myself, my confidence started coming out. I realized now I reflected and realized where the gap started, the low self esteem started. And I started to believe in myself. And I was like, oh, I don't have to be so afraid. This is where the fear came from. This is where the anxiety came from. And I started showing up more. I was like, oh, I shouldn't be afraid to raise my hand in class. I can, I can do it. Like, after realizing the root cause. And then I got born again in December 2020. And that's the start of another beautiful journey. And from there on now, I started entrusting my friendships to God. I'm like, God, I trust you. I trust that you will connect me to the people who will stay, who will love me for me, who I don't have to earn their love. I don't have to work for it. Because when if you find yourself working to earn love, then that's one place you can lose yourself, because you will neglect yourself to give out to other people so that they stay. And deep down in that is a fear of abandonment. It's a fear of loss. And that's why you'll find yourself holding on tight, doing everything in your power to make people stay. But remember, love, again, love is patient, it's kind, it's not conditional. Like, if someone loves you because of a condition, then when that condition, if people love you because you buy them gifts, what happens when you're not able to buy them gifts? Because that's what they were benefiting, then the foundation of that friendship is weak. It will fail. You get what I'm saying? And so, and slowly God brought, oh, my friend, you know yourself. Thank you so much for staying. Yeah, God brought a friend, and I think that's where my healing started. Like, God brought this friend who stayed and made me believe that someone can stay. And then slowly by slowly, other friends have come in, and I've learned that, a while back, I thought that I really needed someone, so I needed to do everything to keep them. But now I'm like, friendships, it's you bring your 100, they bring their 100, or whatever. Like, it's mutual. It should not be one sided. Because if friendship is one sided, then that means you're losing yourself in that friendship. Because deep down in it, you believe that your worth is tied to being in that friendship. And no friendship is worth neglecting and losing yourself for. And especially if you're a giver and you love giving, imagine you also deserve to receive, because mm, human beings generally, we are looking out for ourselves. So if you're always giving, takers will always take. Trust God to bring people who will also freely give, so that your heart can be open to receive as well. Yeah, that's been my journey with friendships. Now I'm in a very secure place whereby I understand. And when you've been in such a scenario, you find yourself that you're the one overextending, you're the one ensuring things stick. And I want you to try this experiment once. Just try pulling off your weight and see if that relationship stands. Because you might find, and this is sad, that you're the glue holding that friendship. Healthy friendships, healthy relationships should require every partner to put in effort. So if you find yourself that you're the only one putting effort, you're the only one arranging meetups, you're the one ensuring that those meetups happen, girl or boy, you are doing too much. So that's been my journey with friendships. Oh, I believe the Lord has healed you through my story. Your story is valid. And at the end of it all, it is an identity issue. If you feel like you would lose your life if a certain friendship ended, I think it's time for you to do a self audit. Yes, because friendships, again, they are a part of your life, they are not your whole life. This person is not your God. Friendships are good, community is good. But what is that unshakable ground you stand on, such that when everything else is pulled, you will stand? Want to know the answer? That solid rock is Christ. Christ gives us our identity. The word of God says, and for them that believe, they have been given the right to be called children of God. I think First John 3:1 says, what manner of love that he has lavished upon us, that we should be called sons of God. I'm paraphrasing. You know, we are already valuable. Like God, I'm gonna use this phrase. Like God already invested so much love in us by dying for us even before we existed. That's how valuable we are. So you're not valuable because of your character, you're not valuable because of what you do, you're not valuable because of the circumstances you're in. You're valuable just as you are. And then when you understand that, you understand that nothing will take or add to your value, your worth. You move from wholeness again. You move from that fullness, that worth. Yeah. I want to believe that my story has encouraged you in one way or another, has encouraged you to choose yourself in your relationship. Don't always be choosing others and then you leave yourself. The word of God says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That which you're so ready to give others, give yourself too. And you won't live like you have to beg people to stay with you. Because what? You're abandoning yourself. Because what? Because you know what? You are choosing to stay with yourself. I remember I was listening to Apostle Joshua Salman, and he was saying the first best relationship you need to nurture is your relationship with God, and then you come with to your relationship with yourself, and then now the others come in. So if you're loving your friends more than yourself, who are you leaving to occupy that space? You know, so stay with yourself. Don't abandon yourself. After God, you're the next person you can truly 100% rely on. All the others are support systems. They're not your rock. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for getting this far. I'd like to know your thoughts. I'd like to get some feedback. What are you learning so far? I'd like to know. Has this been meaningful? Has this series been informative? Please let me know in the comment section as we strive to learn from one another and grow together. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can get a notification once I upload a new episode. Share this with with a friend whom you believe desires and needs to hear this. And what else? Mambo si rahisi. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye.